Hello everyone, this is Adil Hussain, and I would talk to. We were again the same problem I'm facing. Maybe it's my phone, my connection. I don't know. We're about to talk to Business Asia on film Pareeksha, and so shortly, I'm sure that we will be connecting to, yeah. Um, I have sent a request now,
Success.
and there you are. Good
Yes.
Lord! So this is the situation, with Instagram and me. That's my connection. I guess Instagram likes me way too much. It has to be on this account. I
Like
haven't.
you said.
I swear to God, I haven't spoken to any Instagram official in my life, so I have no personal connection.
No, like you said, they're very possessive about you.
It seems like, but so nice to see you, and
Thank
thank
you
you for
so
the
much, sir.
kind words that you have spoken about me.
Of course.
Yes, it's your show, so you go ahead.
No, no, no. I'm gonna say I was I before we even start this, I need to tell you this that you are very much adored in my household. My
Oh,
family and I are ardent fans of yours. So it's my
oh, I'm
pleasure to be
so glad.
chatting with you today. I know my
Wow.
mom is gonna probably be watching this over and over just to watch you today. Not me, not me. Just you, just you. So, like we said, we're gonna be talking about the film of the moment,
Yeah.
Pareeksha. It is premiering tomorrow, the 27th, at the
Yes.
Bhagri Foundation's London Indian Film Festival and the Birmingham Indian Film Festival.
Yes.
Fully online premiere at lovelifeathome.com. Just so everyone knows, it's lovelifeathome.com. And of course, Z5 thereafter. I want to say, because this is an online premiere, do you still have the same jitters or do you have any jitters?
I always have jitters. And thankfully, it is good for me because I generally find it very difficult to watch a film for the first time in the cinema hall with audience because if I haven't seen the film before, if it is my first viewing and if it is with the audience, then I sit like this always.
What?
And then I am like, oh God, what have I done? What have I done? Oh, that scene. Oh no, I should have done less. So I go like that and I curse myself. So nobody wants to sit around me. Hadil, you were good. I'm like, no, 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 that scene there. Oh no. Why? So I'm happy that I'm here and I don't have to sit with the audience. Yes.
You are so humble. Sir,
No,
you
please.
are very humble. I can for sure tell you, you are extremely talented. We love watching you on screen. And
That is
I think,
your greatness and generosity that you like my work. So there's nothing to do with me being humble at all. I am just worried and I'm in anxiety when
uh-huh.
people watch my film. I'm like, oh my God, what would they? So it's always like that till
So
today,
this,
So
till today. And
yeah.
so this time so you're going to be in your living room and you're going to be like this, like, no, 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 don't tell me.
Tomorrow, when it will be screened,
Yes.
people are going to access it throughout the day tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I guess in the UK only
Yeah,
for copyright reasons.
of
And
course.
yeah, so all day, and few of my friends are going to watch, and I'm going to touch my phone and open WhatsApp with a lot of like, oh God, what are they saying? So it will
And
be like that. I didn't get your name properly.
I am so sorry. I was too excited to introduce myself. I'm Priyanka.
So you're Priyanka, but you said you have taken over today. So I knew that Priyanka is going to do this interview, but
Yes.
initially said, "Oh no, I just." So I thought that you just took over from Priyanka and you have come. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm taking over BizAsia's Instagram account.
Oh
That was
wow!
my thing. And
Congratulations.
oh, thank you very much. like I said, I always have jitters before doing these lives, and I can tell you I had like excitement jitters. I don't even know. Just like you said, I was just like, oh no, I'm gonna be so excited. How am I gonna talk to
Yeah.
him? So
But it's
of course,
nice. It is. I think it keeps us on our toes, but without the fear part, I guess
uh-huh.
it keeps that opportunity open for us to sort of do it better, to improve. So I do not mind that I have that.
You'll know you have this little fan in New York that's watching all your films.
Oh, how wonderful! Thank you so much.
No problem. I'm looking forward to when we can actually watch it as well. And
Yes,
so let's talk about the film. Of course, you play
please.
Bucci, a rickshaw puller.
Hmm.
He is striving to get the best possible education for his son.
Yes.
And of course, there are cultural barriers. And I want to ask you, because you're trying to build a better life for your son, but with all
Yes.
the cultural barriers that many people still face, just like your character, and it's not
Yes.
only your character, many people face it. What
Yes.
and it's how do you feel about what is your take on it? I'm gonna ask you, what is your take on it? Do you think it will change? Is this a little stepping stone?
I wish it had changed. I mean, since my childhood, I've seen this. Like I studied in a government school myself. My father could not afford a private school. But thankfully, in those days, teachers were extremely sincere, and it used to be a prestigious thing even to study in government schools. And over the years, for some reason, privatization happened, and education has become a sort of a business across the globe, and of course it has come to India as well. So most teachers, they're underpaid quite often. Primary school teachers, higher secondary school teachers are not paid well enough. I think they should be the highest paid people. They, doctors, teachers, those who shape the future generation of a country, and primary school teachers especially, and then of course the pre-primary, primary, higher secondary, and college, and the higher education. According to me, it should be made absolutely free for all citizens of every country in the world, and high quality, so that there is no need for a private party to come and open an institution to give better institution. We should have government facilities with highest possible quality of education, because the reason is that story Pareeksha, which Mr. Prakash Jha has beautifully directed and written, that's what it says, that in the poorest of the poor, like my character, as you said, Buchi Paswan, is a rickshaw puller, and he dreams that his son should go to this amazing school, that he takes other people's kid to that school, and his son, being a brilliant one, goes to a school where teachers don't turn up most of the time in the school, even in office hours. So he thinks that if his son studies in a better school, then he will have a better life, and he will get out of this rut. But then, and he's brilliant. So once he gets into the school, the private school realizes that, oh my God, this guy is extremely brilliant, and this is a true story. This is a
Yeah.
true story told to the director, and the character who told the director is also in the film. He's a police officer. So there are hundreds and thousands and millions of such sons and daughters in India who are deprived of education because they cannot afford one, first of all, and even if they can afford, it is difficult for them to continue in the school, because they have to participate in earning money for their parents, because they're in a very poor condition. So my dream and my hope and my request and earnest appeal to all the government officials across the globe, especially in India as well, that primary, pre-primary, primary, higher secondary school, higher education, high quality should be made absolutely free.
And that's exactly, I think you're not the only person that resonates. Everyone resonates the same feeling, and that's
Yes.
I think that's what the film is about, and what, what the audience should well, not we're not walking out of the theaters, but after they see the film, that's something.
The discussion should happen. Yes.
Exactly. It's a topic that I think everyone will resonate with in India or outside
Yes.
of India, because we're
I
all
hope
aware
so.
of the barriers.
Yes.
Exactly. And in the trailer, like you said, in the trailer, you're seeing taking all the elite kids. They're all going to their own private school, and when
Yes.
the teacher or the principal or the teacher asked you about, oh, how's your son? And no, oh, he only goes to a government school. And then thereafter, we see him, he's trying to learn, but
Yes.
the kids
Yeah.
are stopping him from learning. So there's all these different emotions that come into
Struggles.
play.
Yes.
And you also mentioned, of course, this is a Prakash Jha film, the
Yes.
mighty Prakash Jha. How was it? I want to ask you,
Yes.
how was it working with him? His films have always
I
left an
was
impact.
no. Yes, I grew up watching his films. He is a legendary film director in India, and not most. I guess all his films, they always deal with a very very relevant social political issues, and uh,
Okay.
and I admire him for that. That he take on these issues, and he's not not blaming anybody. He's just putting up the mirror to the audience and to the policymakers that this is the situation. Now, what do you think you should do? That's the best part of his storytelling. He doesn't judge it, but he does reflect back to the society that we have to do something if you feel something about the situation. And I was pretty surprised when he cast me because he generally works with, A-listers, Bachchan Saab and all the. So I asked him, why did you cast me? How will you sell the film? I'm not a bankable actor. I may act a bit decently, but he came up with a wonderful answer, which I cannot share with you right now. But he said something very beautiful, and I love the story because it is there's something Priyanka about true stories. If it is the strength of truth is so universal and it is so evident, and if the storyteller is trained well, and he's Prakash Jhaji is a craftsman, fantastic craftsman of filmmaking, and so if it is based on a true story, these two come together. The strength of truth and the storytelling craft, when it come together, these two, then it goes deeper into the audience's heart. And I have seen when we premiered it in India in Goa International Film Festival, everybody was in tears, and not like this is not like tear-jerker film. It's
Yeah.
because they feel for this man, this boy, this uh, the couple. It's the mother who also has an amazing role. Priyanka Borua played it very, very,
Yeah.
very wonderfully, and she struggles her best. Bucci, my character, struggles like anything. The son sees the parents going through all that, so it's a heartbreaking and also heartwarming story at the end of the day when people come out. So they will feel also good, and they'll come out with a smile and happy and also reflect. So it's a very good combination of all that.
So there's gonna be all sorts of emotions. We're gonna be crying with
Yes,
you. We're gonna be happy for you, and of course, it's gonna
yes,
be all the trials and tribulations that one must
yes.
go through.
And it's also
So
funny in a lot of
uh-huh.
places.
Yes, like that's actually what I wanted to mention in the trailer as well. When you said that you
Yes.
on the CBSC,
Yeah.
CBS, your CSB, when you're like, no, they become big officers with that exam, and then your
Yeah.
your friend said, yes, he can drive an electric rickshaw with that exam.
Electric rickshaw, yeah.
That
That's his idea of
of an
CBSE
education.
or of education, yeah.
So that's the thing, he's saying it as a in a very serious space, but it also
Yes.
it's supposed to make you laugh, but it's also supposed to make you think
Yeah,
at the
exactly.
same
Oh
time.
my God. Yeah.
So now, like you said, Prakash Jha cast you in this role, and you said, why me? But so, how
Yep.
did you prepare for the role? We've seen you in
Yeah.
serious roles and comedy. Well, good news. I'll come to that too. Good news as well. In a comedy role, how different was the preparation?
You see, I have an advantage of being, born in a smallest town,
Uh huh.
and my next door neighbor, who used to rent a house from our neighbor, a man, he was pretty young, in his 30s when I was a kid, like I was 6 years, 7 years old. He was a rickshaw puller.
Okay.
And he used to take me for a ride, like take me to, some other places, to the shop, sometimes free of cost. And I used to have an amazing bond with that person. And I used to go and sit with him when he used to mend his rickshaw in the cycle mechanic shop. And so there is this amazing memory. And the first thing which came to my mind when Prakash ji told me the story, I was like, oh, it's Nur Muhammad Bhai, you know, from my
Yes.
neighborhood.
Yes.
And the whole thing, and I forgot about him totally. I didn't remember him for decades. And suddenly the memories started pouring into my conscious mind. And I was like, oh, that's him. And his manners and his, the sweat, the smell of the sweat and everything I remember. Smell is the strongest, sense
That's
of in our body.
yeah.
And just first thing came to my mind is the smell of his gamcha and his body and the sweat, where because of his struggle, his physical uh, struggle pulling a rickshaw, the back of his white banyan used to go, wet. And Assam being a very humid state, you
Hmm.
go for a shower, you come out, and you are wet again with sweat, for no reason. But when you
Okay.
again work hard physically,
Yes.
so this is in acting jargon, I call it point of identification, that you identify your personal experiences and deep rooted personal experiences, and you build on that. But
Yeah.
at the same time, since I had been out of touch with him for a long time, I've started living a metro life, being
Yes.
in Delhi, and then the
Hmm.
physical body also undergoes a change of sophistication because of my upbringing in Delhi, and then stayed abroad for a long time in Europe. I used to teach there, and
Hmm.
I studied in England, in London. um, so all that, then when I went to the city where we shot, Ranchi, which is the capital city of a state called Jharkhand.
Hmm.
And again, so every day I would go to the railway station, then I will watch them, sit there and just chat, and just being there, soaking in the atmosphere. And it's amazing. I didn't have to do much actually, because it just comes back. Amazing thing about the body, Priyanka, is that it actually remembers everything you have seen, touched, tasted, heard,
Yes.
and smelled. It remembers. Just the actors training helps us to sort of fish out
Hmm.
those things and let the subconscious work. So it was amazing experience working with Prakashji. And the best part also about my experience about working in this film is Prakash Jha, because I didn't know him at all. I met him once before I went to shoot, twice actually. First time when he told me the story, but he has an unique way of directing actors. He actually doesn't tell you what to do. He makes you see it 5 days before the shoot starts, and then he makes us read the script without acting out the lines. Plain reading and flat,
Okay.
so that we understand without sort of pre deciding how we would do it, which is
Okay.
a very, very unique. I have not seen any other director doing that so far. And he makes you read, and then he says that once you go there, you will feel the atmosphere, you will feel your co-actor, and then you say your line. The way it comes out, that is the truth. And I believe in that approach as well myself. So
Mhm.
an amazing experience.
So it was a very organic approach.
It is. It is.
That it's amazing to know that you are the way you prepare, like you said. the senses, it all comes back. The feeling all comes
Yeah.
back. So that means you actually did build that personal relationship with your character. It's that one-on-one, the
Yes.
one-on-one
Yes.
feeling.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you actually just mentioned London. That was going to be my next question. So because it's premiering tomorrow at the London
Yes.
Indian Film Festival, the Birmingham Indian Film Festival, so the full UK,
Yes.
and this will be before the Z5 premiere. So before it releases on
Yes.
Z5, how
Correct.
how do you what kind of connection do you have with the UK, and how special is the film for you because it's premiering at the Live Festival
Yes.
at London? Yeah.
Good question. Nobody asked me that before. Priyanka, thank you. Yes, because my relationship with the UK is, of course, the history is there that they were here and ruled us for 250 years, and that's the reason I'm speaking in English. Otherwise, if Chinese would have occupied us, I would have been speaking Chinese.
Yes.
So the language itself, and my father was a big fan of English literature. So he introduced me to literature, but I wasn't a big reader. So later in my life, I started reading. And first country in my life out of India was England, is the UK.
Okay.
So, and it was shocking because I'm used to the warmth of Indian people. I'm not saying English people are cold, but what I'm saying is that they are way more reserved and, so, so, and I always tell all my white English friends that, to make friends in India, it takes 3 seconds. But I had to stay here for 6 months and I couldn't make a good friend, you know.
Oh,
So, no, it takes time. And I
I
understand
know, I
because
know.
later I lived in Europe for 3.5 years in Amsterdam, in Holland. And I understand that. But initially, it was shocking for me. I'm like, what? Why people are so cold? Then, of course, I realized that the climate plays a very important role, ethnographically, anthropologically. When you look at a particular society, they grew up in that specific, and the social structures as such. So I appreciate that very much now. So, but it was shocking. Now I'll tell you a story which will make you understand, make you actually see and feel it for me, and you will empathize with me. So
Okay.
first day in the drama school, and I could not, those days in '93, I could not, I didn't have ATM card or anything, so I was carrying these traveler's checks, and I had to go to the bank to encash that.
Okay.
And I couldn't because I had to come to the school. I reached on a Saturday, Sunday I rested, Monday morning I'm in school. And then during the lunch break, I had no money to buy lunch. And then all my classmates, they took out their boxes and then they started eating. In India, it would be the opposite. If you come to India, a person from another land,
Yeah.
and if you are in my class, we will bore you to death by asking, oh, tell us, what do you want to eat? We'll get it for you. No, it's like, and the extreme example of that is that I still remember when I go to get a yellow black cab in Delhi, in the neighborhood cab stand, if they're eating, the first thing they will say, all right, sit down, eat with us now first, then we'll talk about going somewhere. So that is the culture I grew up with.
Yes,
So,
yes.
and then I was so hungry.
Aw.
I was younger, I was very hungry. And then I realized, why would someone offer me some food? Then slowly I realized that, oh, they would not even imagine that why wouldn't I have food unless I don't want to have food. So, but that realization wasn't there that day when it happened. So it's a very unique relationship I have. And then, of course, I kept going to London, in England several times. And I have got great friends and started understanding the relationship between people in the society and all that. And it feels like home. London feels like home. And I love Edinburgh because we went to Edinburgh with a play in 1999 and we won the Fringe first there.
Yes.
And it was so. In fact, Scotland, the Scotsman, gave me a review, which is one of the, I think I'm the only Indian actor who has gotten such review appreciating my performance of Othello till today. And so they stamped me that this guy is good. And then when I came back to India, then they think that I'm good. So it plays so the UK had played a very important role in my life to give me the inspiration, also to give me the courage, and to make me feel that I'm not such a bad actor, and also, you know, established me in the theater scene as soon as I came back to India. Yeah,
So life
long
comes
story,
full
but I have to
circle.
tell you.
No, no, no. Complete. So life comes full circle for you. Right now, we just came, and
Yeah.
now it's gonna be back to the UK tomorrow. Not physically, but at least virtually.
Yes, 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 yes,
That
absolutely. That's it's such a pleasure to go back to and especially to Lovely, because Carrie and Shanti,
yeah,
and they
yeah.
become our friends, and we keep meeting them in India when I come to England. You know, it's wonderful.
That and so like you mentioned, theater, TV, films, short films, web series, Netflix.
Yes,
What so these are I don't have enough fingers to go through all the brilliant films that you've been
yes,
in.
yes,
Some Delhi Crime. You were in Delhi. Oh, well, that's a very serious role in Delhi Crime.
yes. This
You
is true.
you had Good News. You had English Vinglish. Love Sonia.
Yes,
All these films. Hotel Salvation. What kind of
yes.
roles are do you look forward to the future? I know I loved you in Good News. It was such a dramatic difference from I think the last film I'm not sure, but I think the last film before that I saw or Netflix show was Delhi Crime. So it was a complete opposite,
Yes,
and it was just
totally. Yeah.
and you were laughing, you were silly. I was thrown aback, and I loved it. So I want to personally, I know like many of your friends, I really want to see you in more comedy.
Oh yeah, I'd love to. I'm a trained clown, and I had been the clown of our family as well. And I had been also trained as a clown. I did a lot of clowning in Europe and in India. But
Wow.
for some reason, I kept getting these intense roles because my first film was like that. The character was
Yeah.
pretty intense. So I guess that's the box that I was put in by the casting directors. And for some wonderful reasons that I had been taken out from that specific box of intense actor
Uh-huh.
into, you know, I'm very grateful to Raj Mehta, who directed Good News. That he gave me, funny. I'm like, oh, I'd love to do it. Even if you don't pay me, I'm okay with it. So, and the other film, which is on Netflix now, that's
Yes.
also, actually, that was much before Good News, but it didn't get a good release in India. That is also a very funny role. And since you liked my Good News
Uh-huh.
performance, you'd love that. It's called Z Plus. Z,
Yes.
ZED and
Uh-huh. Okay.
PLUS, Z Plus. It's a
Okay.
very funny story of a cycle mechanic who, by mistake, given Z Plus security by the Prime Minister of India, and what happens to his life. It's an amazing story.
Oh, I wanted to mention that I saw in the comments somewhere. I was born and raised in New York, but I am Bengali, so I know how to speak
Right.
perfect Bengali. And I saw a comment that
Huh?
said, "Do you understand Bengali?"
I have done 5 films in Bengali. খুব ভালো বাংলা বলতে পারি আমি একদম
Oh
পরিষ্কার।
my God! I think he said, I don't know. I'm sorry. I think it scroll by so too quick. I think he said, তোমার Z plus দেখে খুবই ভালো লাগছে. I think that's what they said.
Correct,
So
correct. Yes, yes,
it's
yes,
funny
that's
that you
what they
actually mentioned it, Z plus. So you know what I'm going to
yes,
be
yes.
watching tonight. And so before we I let me tell you, sir, it's been an extreme pleasure. And before I go on, well, before we end this chat, I have to ask you this. What did you make for dinner?
Oh, just now I had my dinner. Yeah, and I'm the chef of the house or cook of the house. And today it's very simple because Kristen, my wife, she's on diet
Uh-huh.
meals, and I had to put on weight uh, uh, for my next film. So it's very difficult. So and it's a lot of cooking otherwise. And our 10-year-old, he wants pasta or other things and all that. So I had to find a midway, you know. So I chopped a lot of vegetables, different kinds of vegetables together, and very small portions. And then I boiled some lentils. So I made a lentil stew with
Uh-huh.
vegetables in
Yes.
it, a lot of greens and all that. The recipe was an Italian grandmother recipe, but I changed it to Indian, South Indian. So I put curry patta, I put coconut oil, and black mustard and all that, and soupy stew. And with that, some rice and some homemade pickle which I made, which is
Uh-huh.
green chili and lemon and mustard paste.
And let me tell you why I asked you that question. Because most recently, I
Okay.
read an interview where you said, "I love cooking, and I'm the chef of the
Yeah.
house, and I've found a new way to make pizza, a healthy version of
Yes.
pizza with, I think,
Yes.
buckwheat flour. I think that's what I read."
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Buckwheat and red rice powder,
Uh
and
huh.
of course, the whole wheat flour. Yeah,
I I actually told my mom this last night, so I think we're gonna be copying
together.
your recipe. We're gonna be copying your recipe. You have to wait for it. I Let me just
Yes.
say, sir, it was an extreme pleasure talking to you today.
Thank
I
you.
want to mention again that Prakash Das Pareeksha will premiere tomorrow at the London Indian Film Festival. LoveLiveAtHome.com. And it will be, of course, I know a lot of people in India, I saw in the comments, they were saying, when is it coming to India? It's going to be on Z5 after, the date
Correct.
will probably be
Correct.
announced shortly. And I
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on live on with BizAsia Live. And we are looking forward to all your
Absolute pleasure.
films, not only
Thank
Pareeksha.
you.
I know everyone in the UK, BizAsia is, of course, based in the UK as well. They are definitely
Yeah.
eager, very eager to watch your film. And I
Thank
look
you.
forward to watching it when I can. I will surely tell you when I do. Thank you
But
so much,
before you
sir.
go,
Yes.
so the next thing most probably would be coming on Netflix worldwide, which is
Oh,
Star Trek Discovery.
yes. Oh, Star Trek Discovery. I think I saw a picture of you in Star Trek, and the
Right.
first thing I
Yes.
thought was, I, I, am I going to be laughing like good news, or am I going to be serious and like this and Delhi crime? But I think I'm going to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
we're going
somewhere
to
in the
see you
middle. Yes.
somewhere in the middle.
Yes.
So I look forward to Star Trek. I'm Before we end, I'm going to tell you the only reason I'll be watching it is for you because I've never watched Star Trek before. So when I read that last week, I am going to be for sure watching it for you. So for
Thank
all
you.
of these films, just for you.
You're very kind. Thank you. Please keep watching. Thank you so much.
I
And
surely
thank
will.
you,
Thank you so much,
everybody.
sir. Thank you guys for joining us today. Bye. Good night.
Good night.